Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be trying something a little bit different. So, 2 days ago, the new Transmission Gully Motorway finally opened to the public. Really, really exciting, brand new motorway running from Kenepuru up to Paekakariki that everybody's been waiting for. They started building it in 2014. It was meant to open in 2020. It's now nearly 2 years late, but it's finally open to traffic. It's an exciting project. It runs past my local area. It is just so exciting, and I really want to go and try it out for the first time today and share it with you guys. So I've come up with a makeshift rig. I don't have a dash cam set up. I've come up with a makeshift rig that's as stable as I can possibly get it, and I'm going to set the camera up and we're going to go for a drive. So what we're going to do is I'm going to head down to Tawa, and I'm going to join the motorway, the existing motorway. I could have joined at the Kenepuru Interchange, that was closer, but I want to really get the view as you come up, where you can see, so that you guys can see where it splits into the old road and the new road. And this will be exciting. I did do a little bit of the road last night. I was out with the community patrol group last night. I did the section from Kenepuru Interchange up to Waitangirua Interchange last night, but I wasn't driving. I was in the passenger seat, and it was dark. It was night time, so I didn't actually see anything. So today really will be my first proper experience on the motorway, first time driving it, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you guys. I think we'll do it with the windows shut. I'll probably have to have the air conditioning on, but yeah, so I'll see you guys shortly just down the road. Okay, so here we are on the road. I'm just coming out here to join the motorway at Tawa, and my word, that is a lot of vehicles. So this obviously being the first weekend that Transmission Gully is open, I am anticipating the road to be quite busy, because half of Wellington has been waiting years for this road, so everybody's going to want to be trying it out. Although there's actually a lot of people, actually no, a lot of these cars are heading to Wellington, actually, they're not heading towards the gully. So where we're coming up onto at the moment here is coming onto State Highway 1. This is not Transmission Gully yet. This is the old route still, the existing route. You'll see when we get up down the road, probably in the next couple of minutes, you'll see as we come through. Now I wanted to start down here, because obviously this bit of road here I'm familiar with. So just on the advisor for everyone, that as I am doing this, I am, just to make sure that everyone's aware, I'm trying to give a bit of commentary where I can, but I am obviously behind the wheel of a motor vehicle. I'm about to drive on a road I've never driven on before, with other people who have also probably never driven on it before. There might be some temporary speed limits in place, I'm not sure. I don't know whether the whole road's open at 100 or not. But just obviously all the health and safety things in mind. Safety is more important than anything else right now. You know, obviously I want to try and get a good video out of this, but obviously the most important thing here is my safety and everyone else's. So anything does go wrong, right, I'm more worried about my car than I am about my camera. So I think the rig is perfectly secure. I don't think that camera's going anywhere. Right, so here we come down here. So you might be able to see just up ahead where these signs are, you can see a bridge going up there. That is the on-ramp for Transmission Gully. And where the road carries on straight ahead is the old route. So the old route would have been State Highway 1, but Transmission Gully is now the new State Highway 1, and the old route is now State Highway 59. So you can tell we're coming in, all of the new street lights here. Here we go. Yep, you can see on the signs that we are going up State Highway 1. Transmission Gully is State Highway 1 now. The old route that was State Highway 1 is now State Highway 59. Oh, this is exciting. So the signs are saying 70 limit ahead, but I don't know if that sign is pertaining to this road or that road. There's no speed limit signs here, so it looks like we are safe to go 100. Wow. It's slightly nervous because I've not been up here before. This is fantastic. I can see Kenneperu Hospital off to my left. Not that I can look much because I've got to concentrate on where I'm going. So I'm going about 90 k's at the moment because I'm in the inside lane. I'm probably, because I'm recording a video, I'm probably going to try and stay maybe in the inside lane. No, actually no, I might move to the outside for a minute because it's getting a little bit slow here. All I'm thinking at the moment is how many comments am I going to get on this video on YouTube complaining about something I've done wrong while I'm driving. Watching the speed, obviously. So whilst we're coming up here, let's talk a little bit about the gully and why it's been built. You know, plans to build a road through this area have been around for over 100 years. And it's only in this century that they've got around to finally building an actual proper in some places like here, 3-lane motorway. The idea behind building this motorway is that it's going to be quicker, it's going to be safer. This is the first radar monitored motorway in the whole country. And monitored by a company called Venetia, who are going to be looking after the motorway. Really, really safe. And also, the other thing is, Wellington is a seismically active area. We get earthquakes, and the old route runs along the coastline, so it's obviously right in a tsunami hazard zone, whereas this road goes much more further inland, and it's surrounded by hills. You're well out the way of any tsunami threats from here. So this here, I believe, is the bridge over Cannons Creek. This is the highest bridge on the entire project. I think it's this bridge. Well, you can just see how much land they've had to excavate, just how high up these cliffs are. Just how much land they've had to excavate here. I'll probably get up past this car and we'll move back over again. Because we've no need to be in the right lane. So, wow, I can actually see the motorway up ahead. So we're coming up to the Waitangirua Interchange up ahead. So Whitby and Waitangirua link roads both meet up at the same interchange at Waitangirua, for anybody wondering about that. So they have all these electronic signs saying no stopping on motorway. I think that's just because they're worried about idiots stopping on the side of the motorway to take pictures and stuff, which is a bloody stupid thing to do. Yes, I can see the interchange up ahead. This is the bit of the motorway that I was on last night, but it was dark. It was, I was on here at about 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, so it was completely dark. We couldn't see anything apart from what was in front of us on the headlights. Now, obviously some people will say that this new motorway doesn't actually cut that much time off your journey. I think the reason for that is what people didn't take into account is that because we've got the new road, there's less traffic on the old road, so that's going to improve things. So that's obviously going to make the old route slightly faster than it used to be. So yes, you've got the exit here to Waitangirua and Whitby. So, and because I live in Whitby, this is probably going to be an interchange that I may use a lot. I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually going to use the gully that much because I go to work on the train, I'm going to be going the other way down to the railway station. I'm not really going to be coming here. So this is where I exited the gully last night and I did the 2 link roads. So not quite going full speed here. I'm matching the speed of the cars in front, so I'm actually only going about 80 k's at the moment, not the full 100. It's getting a little bit faster now, we'll see. So we got the next interchange is Waitangirua in 2 kilometres, and then we've got 19 kilometres to the end of the gully at Paekakariki. So the whole motorway's length is about 27 kilometres. So another question people might be asking is why build a new motorway like this? Why not just have the old motorway? So the old motorway, the old State Highway 1 wasn't really a motorway. Once you get up past Waitangirua, you've got a roundabout at Parramatta. If you're coming the other way, if you're coming southbound, there's traffic lights by Aotea. Then you've got to go down to 50 k's while you go through Parramatta and Mana and Plympton. You've got a small motorway section, back to 50 again to go through Pukerua Bay, 80 round the wiggly bit at round the bays. Here we are. This is the Waitangirua Interchange. We've got the roundabouts at the bottom. So the roads going underneath this bridge is State Highway 58 between Waitangirua and going over the Haywoods Hill Road over to the Hutt Valley. Many a times over the past couple of years have I driven underneath this bridge. It's so cool today on this gorgeous, gorgeous day as well. The weather's turned out perfect to be driving over the bridge instead. It's obviously the family in the car in front's obviously got some kids in there or something that are keeping their hand out the window. I think once it's safe, I'm going to try and go past them. Here we go. Because they are going a little bit slow. So yeah, so as I was saying, so yeah, you've got all that slow zones going through Mana and Plympton and Parramatta. The area through Mana's got about 5 sets of traffic lights to go through. Another roundabout at Plympton. You get a little bit of motorway for a little while. 50 again through Pukerua Bay. 80 round the wiggly bits. And then you get back up to a bit of a decent speed again to go through Paekakariki. So it's quite slow. Before they built the Kapiti Expressway, which opened I think about 5 or 6 years ago, you used to have to then go through Paraparaumu as well. Fortunately, they've now got the Kapiti Expressway, so you can just bypass all of that as well. And that goes up to Paekapeka at the moment, and they're building a new extension to that, the Paekapeka to Otaki section, that will take you right north of Otaki. So that will actually mean that you will be able to get from Wellington all the way up to past Otaki, so over the border out of Wellington into Manawatu on a motorway. No roundabouts, no traffic lights, just full motorway, proper on and off ramps and everything. So Transmission Gully really is, although it's an important motorway, it really is a cog in the works as part of improving the transport of the region as a whole. The gully in itself is impressive, but the fact that we've got the Kapiti Expressway as well combined with it makes it fantastic. This is absolutely beautiful round here. Just the trees and the hills. This idiot in the Ford in front of me needed to put his signal on when he was changing lanes. I'm being careful with my choice of the word idiot because I'm on camera. If I wasn't on camera, my choice of language would be somewhat more fruity than that. Now you will notice this motorway is not fully street lit. There is street lighting at all of the major intersections, and that is all. There's no street lighting on any of this part, which is fairly normal for this country. Make sure I'm braking appropriately as we go downhill. wonder what that is they're building there. Must be something to do with the farmland. There's a lot of farmland and forestry areas around here, so it's probably something to do with the farmland. That's all private land over there. I don't actually really know where we are. We must be heading up the other side of Plimerton Way or something. I honestly have no idea where we are in relation to the rest of Wellington. Okay, there's a couple of street lights up here, so are we coming to something important? I'm not sure. Oh, I think there's a little service area here or something for workmen's access area. Oh yeah, there's an electricity substation there. Yeah. So all the street lighting, of course, is LED. Any people out there who are interested in street lighting, they've used the Schrader Tasia, I think it is, lamps, which is what NZTA use for most motorways. Some of them have Italos, mostly Schrader. I think that's because most of the old incandescent lamps are all Betacom, and Betacom, instead of making their own lamps for motorways, they serve as a distributor for Schrader. So they use the Schrader, and the street lamp poles are made by Steel Gal. They've got that nice ellipse shape to them, which is a first for Wellington. You see that shape in other parts of the country. Oh dear, someone's broken down by the looks of it. Slow vehicle lane, 1 kilometre ahead. I can even see, I think there's a couple of cows in a farm over there. I'll be really annoyed now if I get to the other end, so I see the camera, because I can't see the camera screen, and I find out that I didn't hit the button and it's not actually recording. Nah, it should be. Yeah, so nothing on the signs, just no stopping on the motorway. I think there's a lorry or two up ahead. Being careful of that. There's a slow vehicle lane. It looks like they have moved into it, because we're climbing up the hill here. Yeah, so the lorries are going into the slow vehicle lane, so we should be fine to stay in this lane and we'll still go past them. So I think where we head up here now should be the highest point of the motorway. And once we get to the top of here, little net there to stop any rock falls that come down the stream. There's a little metal staircase there. There must be some kind of service area up there for something. Little chain fences there again, stop any rock falls coming down the little streams. Okay, there's something up here. This is all street lit again. It's a bit slow coming up here because I'm just making sure that I'm not getting too close to anybody. There may still be 1 or 2 bits of loose chip seal around in some places. There have been some reports of that the last couple of days, so I don't really want to drive too close to anything in front of me in case anything starts flying around. It's not that busy. I was expecting it to be a lot busier than this, but it's actually not. It's not too bad. Because I want to get this done. I've got everything planned out. Because I don't go up the Kapiti Coast that often, I thought I'll use this today as an opportunity. I'll do this. I'll go up to grab some lunch up there. Because Kapiti Paraparaumu's got the only Wendy's in the whole of Wellington. I quite like Wendy's, and I don't have it very often, so I'll go grab a Wendy's. Might do a couple of things up in the Kapiti Coast area, and then I'll come back down again. Right, so the slow lane is ending here now because we're going to be going downhill. Oh, yep, I can see into the distance. I can make out the Kapiti area. I can make out Paraparaumu, I think, and I can see the ocean. Because like I say, it's an absolutely gorgeous day today. We've had quite a bit of rain and clouds during the week this week, so I was a little bit worried of how it was going to be, but it's turned out absolutely beautiful. Fortunately, it's warm, but it's warm today, but it's not too warm, so I've got the air conditioning on a low setting, which is good for you guys because it means that you're not sitting there listening to a whoosh, whoosh of the aircon. Ah yes, so this here is the runaway vehicle ramp. So if you get any runaway trucks, they go down there into that gravel pit down there, and that will stop them. And we know that this works after a police car accidentally drove into it on Thursday. Not a word of a lie, a police car accidentally drove into the gravel pit. It was quite funny. I was talking to one of my colleagues at work, and we were kind of like talking about, imagine having the claim to fame of being the first person to have an accident on this road, and it's a bloody cop. Here we go, exit 2 kilometres. So we're nearly at the end of Transmission Gully. I'm going a little bit slow here because I've got a bloody great lorry in front of me. Oh yeah, I can see the old State Highway 59 route in front of me. So now, if you want to get onto the old route, you've got to come off that exit ramp there. Here we go. And that's the join up ramp there. And that's it. That is Transmission Gully. That's the end of it. Oh, wow, that was exciting. But don't worry, this is not the end of the video, because I'm hopefully, if assuming this camera rig stays up, I'm going to try and get us going back the other direction again later. So if I were to carry on up here, we would get to the Kapiti Expressway, but I am going to come off here to take this route in. But I am going to come off here because I want to turn the camera off. I don't want to keep filming, so I'll just come down here to Paekakariki. So even though we're off the gully, you can actually see that they've replaced all of the street lights along here as well, and because they've done a few road layout changes here, and they've replaced all the old street lamps along here, the same ones they got on the gully. Because once you get down here around the corner, I'm just going to come round here to near Queen Elizabeth Park over the level crossing. You can see here where the old lights are. Just check there's no trains. Yeah, if I just pull into Queen Elizabeth Park, it'll be somewhere safe for me to stop. Okay, just let me in. Just pull into Queen Elizabeth Park, it'll just be somewhere safe. I can stop the camera and then turn around. Can't stop here. Cool, there we go. Thanks. Right. Okay. So we're just coming off now the Kapiti Expressway. So we're starting a little bit further up from where we finished last time. Hopefully the camera is still pointing in the right direction. I think it needs to come back that way slightly. Can't really see the screen from here. No, I was just mentioning earlier about the street lights. You'll just see at the end here, these street lights here on the expressway, they're a lot flatter. They're not a big massive curve like the elliptical ones on the gully. So that's kind of how you can tell that this is a different project. Little things like differences in the street infrastructure can really be a real giveaway. Like I say, I can't really see what the camera's looking at. But you'll see here as we come up, the LED sign does say New State Highway 1 Motorway open, now open. And then you can see, and you'll see in a minute just as we come up here, all of the new elliptical street lamps for the Transmission Gully here. This section here, it already was street lit, but they took down all of the original poles, put up new poles, the same as the ones on Transmission Gully, full LED lighting, because this intersection's all been redone, new street lights resurfaced, and a few other modifications done, all part of Transmission Gully. New gantry sign up there. So where this road used to curve off around to the right to follow the old coastal route, now if you want to go that way, you need to come off the motorway here to go that way. Yeah, you have to go, sorry, tell a lie, it's further up. Yeah, this is where we came off the motorway earlier at Queen Elizabeth Park to go to over the level crossing. So we're not on Transmission Gully yet, we're still on the old route. Yeah, so here we go. So as we come up here, there is an off-ramp where if you want to take the old coastal route, then you've got to come off the motorway exit here to the left, like the car in front, and go that way. If you want to go to Pukerua Bay or Paekakariki, Plimerton, Mana, you've got to go that way. But obviously we're not doing that. We're carrying on back up the gully in the other direction. It's actually looking busier now. I think because it's 3:53 in the afternoon, so I think a lot of people have been out for the day and are going home. So it will be busier at this time of day. Now I'm thinking this time, instead of going up to join up with the old route, I might come off at the Waitangirua Interchange so that I can go round the roundabout to come back up the gully to go and back up the Waitangirua Interchange. I don't want to come off at the Waitangirua Interchange because, I want to drive the whole length of the gully. Just if I stay on the motorway to the join up at Linden, then I'm going to have to drive all the way up to Tawa again to turn around. Whereas it might just be easier and save me 5 minutes of faffing around before I go home to actually come off the motorway at Waitangirua, which is virtually at the end of the gully anyway. It's incredible seeing how high up these cliff faces are. It just goes to show just how much land was dug out and excavated for the building of this road. This is just a fantastic road. Not too fast going downhill. Nobody coming in from the left. Wow, I can see the road ahead. All the way going around the corner. It's just a nice view though, all the hills in the distance. Consider they've done a little bit of excavation and landscaping here, but not quite so much. Still looking, the left-hand side there, still, you know, looking pretty natural for the most part. So I think perhaps maybe that side is, at least on that side, it's looking a lot more original. So we're probably sort of at the base of a valley here. I think, as you can tell, I'm being a little bit quieter on this return trip. I think I said everything I wanted to say for the most part on the way up. So there's not as much to say. I'm kind of just saying what I can see around me. You can see little tracks on the left-hand side. I'm guessing those were little construction roads that they used when they had trucks and stuff out here. And all the diggers and the machinery and goodness knows what else building the road. We're over another bridge. Yeah, I mean, we actually are just backing on to like people's farms here. I can right off to the right. I can see all the sheep on the hills. Nice sheep. See another little track off to the left, but that's inside the fence lines. That's obviously on the private land there, on the farmland. Just imagine, like, I wonder, you know, if there is somewhere around here like a farmer who's lived here for like 20 years or something or more, you know, and it's like, you know, has seen this being built and has seen it go from just being a lump of hill into this. And I guess that's the thing, you know, most people won't even know what was here before. I mean, fair dues, what was here before was nothing. But it's like it really is like, you know, building a motorway in your backyard. You know, you're carving a motorway right through the middle of nowhere. There's really nothing to see. The only thing I do think though about this route is that the only negative is that you bypass all the petrol stations. Because when you take the old route, aside from the fact that you could stop in Porirua, there's Mobil at Parramatta, BP and Z in Mana as well. And then although there's nothing after Mana until you get up to Paraparaumu. So you don't really lose out on much, but you do lose out on that. So I am wondering if somebody might build a petrol station, say, I think down at, because there is all that patch of land down at Pauatanui. They've got all that down there. That's where the control centre is for the motorway maintenance crew. Oh, that lovely rainbow coloured bridge up there. You can't see that going the other way. Someone up there on bikes. Is that some kind of park or something up there? I wonder if that might be where Battle Hill is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where Battle Hill is in relation to here. But no, so because I'm thinking they've got all that land. That's also where the headquarters was for the construction down at Lanes Flats, where all the offices were. That was where they parked all the vehicles when they weren't using them, and they had, you know, everything was there. And now, obviously, the motorway's finished, so a lot of that will now be packing up and moving on. and it's going to leave all that land at Lanes Flat available that can probably be used for things, for infrastructure. And I've been saying for years, I bet you 10 to 1 somebody's going to build a petrol station up there. Yeah, we're actually going to be at Lanes Flat in just a minute. We're just coming up to the Waitangirua Interchange again now. I have seen, because I'm a member on the bus. Hey, Intercity! God, I was just about to talk about Intercity, and there's one coming the other way. Yeah, because it's often been the interesting thing is people are going to ask, will the long distance coaches, the Intercities, come this way? And I guess the answer to that is it will vary, because obviously Intercity coaches do have a stop in Porirua. There is a stop in Mana, but I don't know if they actually use it anymore. But I know that Intercity do pickups and drop-offs in Porirua, which may be an incentive for them to take the old route rather than the new one. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. I mean, obviously that Intercity's going this way, but I guess technically they could come into Porirua and then somehow turn around to go back. Now, I think if the coach is going to go through Porirua, needs to go through Porirua, then it will have to go the old route. I can't see how the coach is going to make a complicated series of turns to get on the gully, because the amount of time you take doing that would completely negate the time you save coming up the gully. So I think if the coach has got to make a Porirua stop, it'll have to take the old route. If it hasn't got a Porirua stop to do, then it'll probably come this way. So we are heading back uphill again, heading towards Whitby and Waitangirua. Oh, I'll tell you one thing that people might be asking, that if they haven't seen, because obviously a lot of my regular viewers who watch things like my car wash videos will know about my car, but I dare say this video will probably garner a lot of attraction from people who are not regular viewers of my channel. So just in case anybody's wondering, the car I'm driving is a 2010 Ford Focus in silver, and it is an automatic, and it is a lovely machine. I love driving it. So here we are at the Whitby and Waitangirua Interchange. If people saw a video I put on my channel last year where I was stood up on a housing estate and I had the camera showing the motorway, this is what you could see in that video. That sign that we just went past, the interchange and the road and the motorway heading up there and around the corner, is what we could see. Some of the street lamps on that side are turned on. I wonder why that is, why they would be on at this time of day. I didn't notice any street lamps on when I came up earlier, but maybe they were and I just didn't notice. They sure as hell shouldn't be on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're only on that one side as well. As I said earlier, we've just got such a good day for it. It really is a perfect day. A little bit slow here. Pick it up a bit again. As we're starting to climb. know when you look from a distance, you think the road goes up ahead over that hill, but it doesn't. It curves around to the right. I'm not entirely sure what that is up ahead there. I think that's an access way for the electricity pylons. Yeah, it's definitely some kind of service passage. I mean, we're going over a bridge here, so there probably must be something underneath this road, because there's a dirt path up on the right, so it must be a case of you come down under the bridge and up the other side. Possibly, again, like I say, possibly providing access to the electricity pylons. There's a bit of a power station up ahead there. And again, we're going over the bridge, over Tawa. That is the name for the bridge, Tawa. Trying my best to do Te Reo Maori pronunciation in my Southern English accent. Yeah, Porirua city centre, exit in 2 kilometres. So off to my right, which you can't see, I can see Cannons Creek, and I can see, looking over towards the hills, and I can definitely see Cannons Creek. I'm not sure what it is I can see in the distance. I caught a brief glimpse of Porirua city centre. Exit 1 kilometre. That's definitely the creek off to my right. I can see Kenepuru ahead of me there. Okay, so I'm going to come off here. So when the motorway keeps going straight, it will just meet up with so this is the Kenepuru Interchange. It goes just a little bit further down there is where it meets up with the old route, which is where we came on from before. But I'm going to come off here because I don't want to have to drive all the way down to Tawa again to turn around. So this way takes you into Tawa. So we go under the bridge here. We have to go over this bridge, which takes us over the railway line mostly, and it also takes us over the old State Highway 1 route, which is now State Highway 59 obviously, and we come down here to Kenepuru. So the new housing estate and retirement village is right in front of us. Turn left for Tawa, turn right for Porirua. But I am going to just go a complete loop back around. And go back up. And we're just going to take the couple of kilometres back the other way again. I know we've already seen this earlier, but just going to take the couple of kilometres back up to the Waitangirua Interchange, because that for me is the quickest way home. So we might as well keep going. Whilst we do that, I just figured I'd come down all the way, show you guys the interchange here. But yeah, if we'd stayed on the motorway for probably about another minute, we'd have eventually just met up with the old State Highway 1 route. It would have split. Obviously, the road would have split onto the bridge to join up with State Highway 1. So this is where I came onto them when I went out with the community patrol last night. This is where we joined up the motorway, came over that bridge and joined up here. But like I say, it was completely dark. Couldn't see anything. The trees off to the left, can see Ranui. I can see Porirua City Centre there off to my left. Supermarkets, etc. The warehouse. Oh shit! Actually, I can stay in this lane for a minute. We might just stay in the slow vehicle lane because it's empty, and we're going to be coming off at the next exit anyway. I mean, this is what we did last night when we came up here. We just stayed in the left lane. I mean, I wasn't driving last night. Obviously, it's a little bit shadier now because it's a few hours later, so the sun is in a different position. So really the longest stretch of this motorway between stops is from the other end at Paekakariki up to Pauatonui. So yeah, so those pretty much are the only stops. So you come on, it starts at Linden, you have an interchange at Kedaparu, an interchange at Waitangirua, and an interchange at Pauatonui. And then obviously you've got the Paekakariki interchange where it ends. This guy in front of us is going pretty slow, but that's okay because we're coming off again in a minute. Yeah, so we are still coming over the bridge. I think last night, because it was dark and this is not a street lit section, I didn't even realise that we'd come over the bridge. This is just how many electricity pylons there are in this area. There's loads of them. And I guess because when these pylons were all installed, this was just the middle of nowhere. Nobody would ever see them. They would be out of people's way. They wouldn't be an eyesore. Now they're right here. You can see them. Bang, that must have been a loose bit of the chip. I can see the link road. So the two link roads were built by the same contractors that built the motorway, but they are, I believe, Porirua City Council roads rather than the motorway, which is New Zealand Transport Agency. So in New Zealand, all state highways are basically belong to New Zealand Transport Agency. That's why when you drive through somewhere like Porirua, you can see all of the suburbs and the city centre all have LED street lighting, but the old motorway still has incandescent street lights because they're NZTA's responsibility, not the council's. And the council have replaced all of their street lights with LED, NZTA haven't. That's how you can really tell where that's a state highway, because all the street lights are still original. Let's come off here. So we've got two link roads. So we turn left here. Now, if we were to go straight off down the link road ahead, that would take us into Waitangirua. You'd be able to see the traffic lights. But we're not going to go that way, least of all because Waitangirua is the sort of place that you try and avoid at all costs, because it is not the sort of place that one goes for a leisure visit, and that, to put it that way. It's not a particularly great area. Or we turn right here at this T-junction. Kind of surprised that this is just a T-junction and not a roundabout. But we just come this way into the Whitby Link Road. And you see, obviously, up the top there, you can see the gully going through. So somewhere up there on the left, maybe not quite this far down, a bit further up, would have been where I stood last, I think it was at the end of last year, towards the end of last year, when I made my little video before the motorway opened. Might have been up there, sort of where those diggers are off to the left. I don't know if you can see them. It's probably somewhere up there is where I stood. Obviously I wouldn't be able to stand there now because they've dug it all out. But at the time they hadn't done that. And also up on the left there, they've built a lot of the houses up here now. God damn it, they've built those really quick. That's where I've built a lot of those houses. I mean, in a minute I might go up there and see if I can get any views off the motorway now it's open from up there. I might drive around the corner and do that in a sec. I need to pull over somewhere and stop the camera anyway, because I need to stop this camera before I go home, because I am not showing you guys where I live. Got to make sure that I stop the camera a really fair distance away from my house. Yeah, and we come to the end of the link road here, and if we were to go straight on, that would take us right into the centre of Whitby. Just got to watch out for the cyclists. But I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go left because I want to go for a drive up the hill here and have a look. I'll leave the camera rolling for a minute while I drive up there. Might as well take you guys with me. Now, I cannot see the screen of the camera from here, so if I get up to the top of this hill and find that the camera didn't record any of what I've just seen, just driven, I will be really, really annoyed. But fingers crossed, it is actually recording. Because I have absolutely no way to check. Haven't been up here for a while. Crikey, the number of houses that have gone up here now. Yeah, there's the link road. I don't think any of these are lived in yet, though. Will be soon, though. Shit, there's people moving into that one. Oh shit, a couple of these places already being lived in. I'll just pop down here. Nice place to stop the camera. Turn that aircon off. It's just blowing on my hands. Alright, let's stop it here. Yes, that is recording. Good. Okay, so I can't climb up this hill anymore like I did in the past because it's all closed off now. It's part of the housing development here, but I can just come over here and you can see this bit. You can see cars there heading along the Waitangirua Link Road. There's the T-junction there for the Whitby Link Road, the Interchange, and all those vehicles going up and down. I think the last time we were here, the last time we saw this exact view, we had a completed motorway, but no vehicles. Whereas obviously now, the road is open, and we can see all the traffic whizzing along, going about their business, about their journeys. Just zoom in a little bit here, get some nice shots. If anything, because something might make a nice video thumbnail. Nice. In fact, we can just see the signpost I was talking about. You can just see it over there. That's the signpost I was talking about. But like I say, last time I was here, I went and stood up there on the hill, but it's all fenced off now, so we can't go around there. But no, cool stuff. It's been absolutely fantastic today, getting to drive the gully for the first time. Awesome experience. It's wonderful new motorway. But anyway, that's it for now, guys. I think we've been going, I think this video is now definitely long enough. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, guys, and I'll see you all in my next video.